What's up guys, and welcome to today's disaster detail. You'll notice I've got my bunny hug on, and that's because it is very, very cold outside this morning. It's about 3 degrees Celsius, or for you weird American people, that's 37 Fahrenheit. So very cold. I can see my breath out there, but got my Timmy's coffee to keep me warm. So yeah, before we get started, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and ring the bell so you get notified when I drop new videos like this. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. All right, time to get the pressure washer gassed up and ready to go so we can start rinsing this car off. And luckily it's warmed up a tiny bit and I didn't have to throw a toque on. Now to be honest guys, the exterior of this car isn't super dirty, so I can get it rinsed pretty quick and get onto the wheels, which again aren't super bad, but there's a fair bit of blooming on the tires as they haven't been cleaned for a while. So I'll use my wheel and tire cleaner to help remove that blooming and any dirt or brake dust that's on these wheels, using a variety of brushes to agitate to get these wheels clean. Next is the rubber floor mats, and after I give them a quick rinse to get rid of any loose dirt or rocks, I'll spray on some all-purpose cleaner diluted 4:1 and then agitate with my soft wheel brush to really get these things clean. Next up is the foam bath, which is going to help lift and suspend some of the remaining dirt on the vehicle to make it a bit safer when I'm washing it. Alright, so now it's time to get the car dried, and I have to say that it is super nice to be working on a small little car like this. So far everything has taken way less time than I'm used to, since I usually end up doing bigger vehicles, so it's a really nice break. And that has me curious as to what kind of vehicles you guys are usually detailing, you know, whether it's through your business or even just your personal vehicles. So leave me a comment down below of what kind of vehicles you guys get to detail. Okay, so because there's clearly piles of filth underneath the seats that I can't get to, I'm going to remove them so I can have easy access to clean the carpets, and it's also going to make cleaning the seats much easier as well. You can see on the passenger side here that there was a drink spilled under the seat, and that's something I never could have touched without removing the seats. Alright, so since I actually had this vehicle all day, and there was so much crud and grime in places that I just couldn't reach, I felt I had to take the whole center console out, and honestly it came out really easy and quick, and is going to make things 100 times easier to get everything clean. And you guys can probably already see some of the dirt that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to get to. Now I've got all the pieces laid out on the floor, and you can see just how much crud is in the crevices and where all these pieces join together. And then back inside the car, you can see the amount of dirt that was hiding underneath this console. All right, now it's time to get the vacuum plugged in and get started on sucking up all the cheesies, the cigarette ash, and whatever else is littered all over the interior of this car. And just like pressure washing a super dirty vehicle, this is an incredibly satisfying part of the detail, as you can instantly see the vehicle get cleaner and where all the stains are in the carpets. So I've gone over all the carpets, but can still see some dirt hiding down in the fibers. So I'm using my carpet brush to agitate that up to the surface, where I can quickly suck it up with the vacuum, making sure that the carpets are as clean as possible before hitting them with the extractor. And again, having the seats out of this car made it super easy to maneuver around in, since I'm a big guy and this is a pretty small car. So again, I'm using my carpet brush here in the trunk to get all the dirt brought up to the surface so I can quickly suck it up with the vacuum. Now it's also important to either lift up or remove the trunk liner completely so you can get the vacuum down into the spare tire area and suck up any of the dirt that's made its way underneath there as well. Moving to the seats now, and again, having them out makes it super easy to not only move around, but I can see everything so much better under the bright lights that I've got here in the garage. All right, time to start getting these seats cleaned. So I'm spraying on the solution using the pump sprayer and letting that soak in and sit for a minute, and then taking my drill brush and using it to agitate every part of the seat and help get some of that dirt lifted up to the surface for the extractor to suck it all away. Now you guys may already know, but the extractor I'm using here is a Bissell Spot Clean Professional that I got off Amazon. It was about $185 Canadian or $160 US. It's really not very expensive. And it's been such a solid little machine and worked so well for me that I would highly recommend you guys check it out if you're in the market for one. I've got the link in the description for both the US and Canada, along with links for the other products and tools that I use if any of you guys are interested. Moving on to the trunk liner, and I decided to do things a little bit different here. And once I had the solution agitated, I went ahead and used the pressure washer to finish the job and get all that solution out. Alright, here's the first dirty water pour, and it never ceases to amaze me at how gross that water is. Okay, moving to the back seat now, and I'm following the same process again as the rest of the seats and carpet, and I'm very thankful that the seats aren't in here because I'd probably end up having to contort myself in all kinds of crazy ways just to get in here. Alright, it's finally time to get to the floors and start on these really bad areas. And I've honestly been looking forward to this since the second that I laid eyes on this car this morning. So as I go over each section with the drill brush, I'll make sure to agitate a bit more over the dirtier areas, you know, like where that spilled drink was. And then once I start extracting, I usually spray a bit of extra water on before doing my first pass, just to help kind of dilute the solution a bit more and avoid any excess foaming of the solution. Then it's just a matter of going over the whole area and really watching to see what's coming through the extractor. It's like if I'm seeing a lot of dirt come through, then I'll make sure to hit that area a few more times until the water is clear. Or if it's really dirty, then I would add some more solution, agitate again, and extract until it was coming out clean. All right, time for the second dirty water pour, and it's just as nasty as the first one was. In behind the driver's seat here, there were a couple of areas where the water was coming out kind of like a nasty dark brown color, you know, kind of like when you've had a bad burrito or something. But that made it even more satisfying to watch the Bissell work its magic. Up here in the driver's footwell, the area along that left side by the trim where the floor mat didn't quite cover was definitely the worst spot, as the carpet fibers were almost like glued together with dirt. So it took several passes and a ton of hot water sprayed on to get it looking presentable. Last dirty water pour, guys, and this one was by far the worst of the bunch. Alright, so moving on to all the interior trim, and because there was so much dirt and dust all over everything, I decided it was easiest to just spray on the all-purpose cleaner and then wipe everything down with a slightly damp microfiber towel. Now, of course, I still used a detail brush in the crevices and in the switches to help lift any dirt out of those, and then follow up with the towel. Moving to all those center console pieces, and I'm using my APC and my detail brush to really get into those crevices and where the pieces join together, so that when I put it all back together, there won't be a speck of grime left anywhere. Here's just a quick shot of what the floor looked like before and how much better it looks now. It's a huge difference. Alright, so rather than applying Aerospace 303 to the console parts outside of the car and then leaving fingerprints behind when I reassembled everything, I figured I would get it all put back together first and then apply the 303. Okay, so now that the interior is completely done, it's time to finish off the exterior, and first we've got to get a layer of wax down on this paint, which honestly probably hasn't seen wax for a very, very long time, so it's really going to make a big impact and restore some gloss to this car. Second last is to clean all the glass inside and out, and I've probably mentioned before that I like to use a waffle weave towel, as I found it doesn't leave any lint or streaks behind. Last up is the tires, and here I'm applying CarPro Pearl to give them a deep matte black look. right, and we're done. That whole detail took about 10 hours to do. I'm exhausted, my back is sore. It's always hard for a tall guy like me to be working, bending over in a small car like that, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Before you leave, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button, because that car was absolutely filthy, and I know you guys love watching filthy cars get cleaned. So smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'll see you guys in the next one.